Hola! Hola everyone! Welcome back for another video on Legend of Mushroom, in which one I am gonna show you a way to beat the Cheetah mount without using the Cheetah mount. A pretty good way to beat them and still be efficient in PvP in all situations. I'm gonna show that to you in that video, and by the way, I'm still using a Plume Monarch and I'm not using a tanky build. This is a very offensive build with a few things that are helping me to sustain versus the Cheetah mount and attack first. So let's dive into it. But first of all, I want to show you what I'm talking about. So for that, I did some fights in cross-server ranked match here. Unfortunately, apparently I need to wait until I can retry. But don't worry, because I made a test yesterday and it was working perfectly great. So I just need to find the player. It's gonna be very easy. Charlene, this is the player I was talking about. 125 million power, and I don't understand why it's telling that I am at the moment at 129 million, because I have exactly the same power. So let's check the fight and let's see what happens. Here we go. So these are the skills I'm using and this is what is happening. I'm using the clone, by the way. The clone is still alive. I'm able to attack before the target, and here I was able to win. That was very close though, but I can maybe balance my stats, and so I will have more survivability or more damage. Yes, it can be doable. Just because I am not using the Rat Avian. I'm still using the Sunshine Bringer, but in that scenario, you don't need the Sunshine Bringer, or it depends. Let me talk about the build. In fact, I'm gonna show you directly the stats, so you will understand it easily. So, crit rate combo, of course, this is the goal of the Plume Monarch build. And then you want to focus on the ignore combo first, 40%. Very, very important stat here. And you have other stuff as well. You have the combo damage resistance. And as you can see, I have only 58%. You can have way more than that. So it could be way more efficient. I have some crit resistance and a very high amount of crit resistance for an offensive build, 1884%. Very important too. And then I still have a lot of offensive stats, as you can see, 8600 and 42,000% combo multiplier. So this is still very high. And it's working pretty well. So let's check. Then I have a lot of damage resistance, 31.8%. There are a few things today that we can use to reduce the damage we take. And first of all, we have the spores. And this one is an amazing one. You want to max it out as fast as you can. Look at that. 6.8% damage resistance. It helps a lot. Then you have that book to increase by 5% all your sources of damage resistance. That is another one to take and very important too. Then the other relics, you already know about them. I'm using this one for the disarm because the disarm is very important here in that scenario. So I'm gonna go directly on the souls so you can see how I balanced my souls. So very aggressive, as you can see, level 63, 65 and 65 on my offensive ones. Then I put some points into my HP, 41, into my defense, 32, and a bit more into my crit resistance, 50 here. Almost the same as on my offensive stats, just to be less. Then I'm gonna go on my scrolls. For the scrolls, I went mainly on the crit damage and the attack, and then I have a lot of crit resistance. Very important too. And I can maybe try to have a bit more than that. If I still struggle to beat them, I will try to change that. So this is the stats I'm using here, and then I want to show you the talents. So let's go on the talents. On the archery, everything on the yellow, you want to increase, of course, your crit damage and combo. And on the blue, you want to do the same for the basic attack, speed, and the combo damage there. And for the rest, here on the blue and the yellow, you don't care at all. Then you want to go at the top here and to increase your combo damage resistance first. Here, I wasted some points. I don't care about the basic attack resistance, so I can just reset that and reallocate the points I have here. To have some more combo damage resistance, by the way, it would work even better. So then on the Fury, you want, of course, to take the one on the yellow, and you want to increase your crit resistance to the maximum here. Very important, you get 200%, this is a very high amount. And then on the blue, you want to take this one for your crit damage, and this one for your basic attack. It can help to deal a bit more damage, but you know, if you're missing some feathers, just don't touch this one. Okay, this is just a bonus in damage. It's not gonna make a big difference, I mean. Then on the sorcery, you want to go on the yellow, you want to take this one, so you will have some more attack every time you are gonna cast a skill. If you have more feathers, if you want to be efficient on tanky builds as well, you want to take the wand here 20 on 20. Otherwise, if your goal is just to beat the Cheetah players, then you don't care about using the wand. It's not going to help you to sustain or to deal more damage. Then you want to jump on the blue tree and increase your crit resistance to the maximum, 20 on 20 here. And something else that can help you versus tanky players, you want to increase your skill energy regen as much as you can. And by the way, if I reset that, recover my basic attack resistance here, I can probably increase that a bit higher than a 10 on 20. It would be even more efficient. I'm gonna try that in the future. And on the Tame Beast, it really depends. Here, that build is an hybrid build, so I can beat some tanks and I can beat the Cheetah users without using the Cheetah mount, and this is why I decided to go with the wand. Otherwise, I would rather recommend to go at the top and increase by a bit more your combo damage resistance. That would be even better. Imagine, I'm just gonna show you how much I can get here. If I increase that to the max, there we go, 10% more combo damage resistance, and I can still max out my attack maybe here. Yeah, this is way more efficient versus tanky players, you know? But my goal, as I said, I have a lot of feathers, and I want to apply the wand on the tanky players, so this is the reason why I'm using that at the moment. Okay, for the talents, let's just put my remaining points into my HP here, and it's okay. For the hero cards, these are the ones I'm using at the moment. If you don't have the yellow one, don't worry, there is a very nice replacement that would be maybe better, in fact. I'm talking about this purple one. If you are taking that, instead of having the attack and the defense increase, you are basically gonna have 22% more attack speed directly at the start of the fight, but it's gonna be reduced by 1/5 every 4 seconds. But still, it's gonna be very efficient and maybe more efficient to be tanky players, because your goal is to deal as much damage as you can directly at the start, and if you can attack faster, then maybe you will be more efficient with that. Then for the rest, you can use this one if you have the yellow one, so you are gonna have more attack speed when your HP is lowering below 50%. And finally, this one to increase your defense. For the avian, at the moment, I'm using the Sunshine Bringer because this is the mount, the avian, sorry, I was using before. But this is clearly not the best mount to use if you have the Panda mount. But there are other mounts that you can use to sustain, and there is one that you can use for free. I'm gonna show that to you right after. And in the case you are not using the Panda mount, then the Sunshine Bringer is going to be the best one to use. So you will be able to attack faster. And the no speeding is very important. If you don't have, by the way, the Panda mount, you want to have debuff immunity in the affixes here. Very important too if you want to attack faster. Then you want Shroom Combo and Rage bonus. They are mandatory. Shroom Combo, Rage bonus, no speeding. And then it depends on the mount. Multiple shots to beat the tanky players, or debuff immunity if you are not using the Panda mount, or anything else to increase your damage. If you have the Panda mount, and this is my case, I would rather recommend to go for another one like the Firefly to increase your damage by a bit more. So now let me talk about the skills. I'm using these. The disarm, very important, so you won't take any damage at the start of the fight and you will have time to deal some damage to the opponent. Then I'm using the clone because I have an hybrid build between the tankiness. I have enough tankiness to tank the DPS coming from the Monarchs, and my clone can survive at the start of the fight. And then he tanks the first attack coming from the Cheetah mount. This is the goal. So this is why I'm using the clone here. And in a way, it can help to deal a bit more damage on tanking players, but you are also going to proc more counters, so you are going to take more damage and die faster, but this is still a good way to increase your damage. And then I'm using the Smoke Bomb. This is another very good one, and maybe you can replace it by this one, but I feel like it's going to be a bit more efficient with the Smoke Bomb because I'm using the relic to increase the duration of the disarm and the Smoke Bomb, so it might be more efficient. So this is what I'm using on the skills. For the pals, these are the ones I'm using, and the llama here, the alpaca here is a very, 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 very important too. 6% less attack on the enemies, so you will be able to tank more damage. Another very important, and this one was very recent, You can maybe try to change this one by another one. If you want to have more damage, you have the snake, or you have the octopus, or do we have another one? You have the red banana if you're lacking some stats, or just use whatever you have instead of the llama. But the llama is another source of damage reduction on the target, and that's a very nice one. The rabbit can help you a lot because if you can launch the target, he will struggle to attack you and you will have more chance to beat the target. At the prayer statue, I have global combo damage only, and this is the only thing you have to take when you're a Plume Monarch. So I am around 478%, something like that, so I'm missing a few coefficients here, but at the moment I'm working on another set with my Counter-Strike, so I'm not gonna try to have more than that. It's already pretty nice. And then last thing about my enchants here, this is what I am using at the moment. I'm using a crit resistance set, so I have more crit resistance, a crit damage, and a combo set. With that rune here, the number 4, I have combo damage as the main stats. Here, combo damage resistance. And finally, at the bottom, I have crit damage bonus, 600%. Very important to increase your damage. And then on the affixes, you want to focus on the global combo damage first. Unfortunately, here, I don't have any, but I have some combo damage resistance, which is pretty nice. Global combo damage here, very interesting. On this one, I have 9% more, and combo damage resistance as well. More global combo on this one. Combo damage resistance 2% here, but global basic attack, I don't care about that. And finally, on the last one, a combo damage res and combo damage. And last thing now, the items I'm using. So, the Bistro Bow, because at my level, everybody has the Bistro Bow, so I need to use my best gear. If you don't have the Bistro Bow, just don't use that, use what you have on your account. It's more important to have the Alien Dimension to tank more damage coming from the enemies. So if you have the Alien Dimension, use it. More attack speed, final damage blocked on your character. This is very, very important to have this one. Otherwise, if you don't have it, it's gonna be a bit harder. I would rather recommend to use this one instead, so you will block a lot of damage too, but you won't have the attack speed increase. Or you can try to use this one if you have it, but one more time, it's gonna be a bit less efficient. And for the mounts, I was using the Panda mount, because you are immune to controls, but you know what? There is a replacement, a mount that you can acquire for free. And I am gonna show that to you guys, and for that I'm gonna go here in my normal arena because the other is closed at the moment, and I'm gonna try to find the Sand Noodles because I love trying my build on Sand Noodles. I'm just gonna complete a few fights, so I'm gonna be higher in the ranking, and I will be able to find Sand Noodles here. Alright, Sand Noodles is here, so let's buy some extra tickets and let's challenge. He has a bit less power than me, but let's see how does it work. I wanna try multiple things to see the difference. And so he's already dead, and look at the damage he can do with the Cheetah mount. I was able to survive, but I took a very high amount of damage in comparison with generally. That was intense. So let's just change my mount, and instead of the Panda mount, I'm gonna use another one. And this is the best one to tank this damage. Trust me, I'm not lying. Let's try to find him again. There we go, and let's retry, and let's see the damage I'm gonna take on my character when I'm using the boat mount in arena. And there we go, he's dead, and look at the damage I took with the Cheetah mount. I was able to survive. Of course, I struggled a bit more to deal some damage and to kill him, to proc the Cheetah mount, I mean, but did you see that? That was very, very efficient. Let's just retry just in case to see if it is consistent. There we go again. And this is why, if you don't have the Panda mount on your avian, you need to use the debuff immunity, because he is using the debuff immunity, which means that he can attack way faster than me, way early, and he can start killing my clone and stuff like that. But if I had the debuff immunity on my Sunshine Bringer, that would be even better. I'm gonna use this one instead. I don't have rage bonus, which means that I'm gonna lose a bit of crit damage, but I have barrel dodge instead. I'm gonna be a bit more tanky. I have no speeding multiple shots and shroom combo, and this one increases my damage, so normally with the Panda mount, this one should be more efficient. There we go again. Firefly equipped, the Panda mount equipped. Let's see if there is a difference. was able to kill him way faster than before. So the result was a bit better. And normally using that avian, let's just check the changes in my stats. I lost around 600% crit damage, but I have almost 300% more crit resistance than before. So this is still pretty offensive. So let me know what you think about that in the comment below, guys. Have a really nice day. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye bye.